My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for choosing us. Joy News has secured exclusive details of how police officers allegedly forced themselves onto the campus of Islamic Senior High School on Tuesday morning while dispersing student demonstrators. The Ghana Police Service had earlier admitted that its men used pepper spray and fired warning shots to disperse the crowd, but only because the students pelted stones at them. But this afternoon, it is emerging that the police officers actually chased the students from outside the school campus, scaled walls and went past a security man in pursuit of the students who were now running for their lives. We have a blow-by-blow account of the head of the Ghana Muslim Mission on what happened for you shortly. But first, though, Ohim Terry of our security desk was on campus earlier. Here's his report.
Hundreds of parents besieged the school premises in an attempt to seal their walls following news of the police-student clash. But they were left disappointed as police denied them access. They raised concerns over the school authorities' handling of the matter and threatened to take action against them.
Demonstration.
The Inspector General of Police, George Akufu-Dampare, who visited the school and some affected students in hospitals, promised to look into the conduct of police officers detailed to maintain law and order in the school.
We want justice! We want justice!
It comes as police fired warning shots and tear gas into the protesting students who blocked the Abreport Junction Barakesi Road in protest of knockdown of students and teachers.
I also want to assure you that whatever happened in terms of the policing aspect of it, we are going to look into it and take all actions that need to be taken to ensure that at the end of the day, the right thing is done, professionalism is deepened in a manner that will not create a situation that will put the life of anybody at risk. Because as police, we are here to protect life and property, and if we cannot do that, then we might have failed in our duties, in our mandate, and it is something that we don't want to do. So rest assured, we are with you, you are our children, and we'll see to it that you are comforted.
We are here to check on you to make sure that you are all right.
Reverend Intim Fojo, who led a delegation from the Education Ministry to visit students on admission at the Central Government Hospital, says the incident at the Islamic Senior High School would be investigated.
Every incident that occurs in every institution, Ministry of Education and GS, however minor it is, deserves attention, deserves looking into. Perhaps if there are some lessons going forward. And so on those premise, we are interested to know and to ascertain the facts beyond what we have seen, what happened, if there are some underlying matters that need to be addressed, so that we don't just gloss over the incident here. If we're able to deeply and in detail address the matter, it will help ensure that this doesn't recur here and doesn't also show up on other campuses.
Meanwhile, calm has been restored as agitated parents leave the school. It is, however, not clear when normal academic work will resume. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohim Terry reporting.
This afternoon, the Ministry of Education says normalcy has been restored at the campus. That has been issued. I will share excerpts of that statement with you. The Ministry of Education has been duly briefed on the unfortunate incident that occurred on campus on the Islamic SHS in Kumasi. And it says, on behalf of the Minister of Education, Dr. Yawedichum, Deputy Minister, Honorable John Intim Fojo, accompanied by the Ashanti Regional Minister, Director of Education and Mayor, The ministry wishes to inform the public that calm has been restored and full academic work has resumed. And that is the statement, and it's signed by Kwesi Kwarteng, who is the Public Affairs Director of the Ministry of Education. Now, the head of the Ghana Muslim Mission has been revealing how the police chased the students outside campus. Listen.
They chase them to their dorm. Some of them, they have to even, they beat them. Eyewitness, they show what they say.
Some of the live bullets were picked from there.
Some of the labs were picked. Can you imagine? This is highly, I don't want to use the word. People who are not, holding harm. We chase them to dormitories, we chase them to, chasing them. Some of them, teachers who want to intervene and so forth, some of them, you even arrested them and send them to police. Can you imagine? You are even arrest the teachers when they want to intervene to beg you that these are students. Instead of that, you even become annoying. No one want to pick firearm, and because of that, you even become annoying. And you have to force him and for him to throw it out. Can you imagine? And arrested them. It's highly unprofessional.
He also told Joy News about how some of the students were assaulted without provocation.
They chase them to their dorm. Some of them, they have to even, they beat them. Eyewitness, they show what they say.
Some of the live bullets were picked from there.
Some of the labs were picked. Can you imagine? This is highly, I don't want to use the word. People who are not, holding harm. We chase them to dormitories, we chase them to, chasing them. Some of them, teachers who want to intervene and so forth, some of them, you even arrested them and send them to police. Can you imagine? You are even arrest the teachers when they want to intervene to beg you that these are students. Instead of that, you even become annoying. No one want to pick firearm, and because of that, you even become annoying. You have to force him and for him to throw it out.
We'll be crossing over live to the campus and speak with Ohim Interior, a man who's been monitoring events for us for the latest update. Back in Accra, the Supreme Court has, in a unanimous 9-0 decision, affirmed its April 13 decision that granted an injunction against Assin North MP James Jachi Kwesi. The court on April 13 restrained Mr. Kwesi from holding himself as a member of parliament for the constituency. Michael Nkoman-Imfa, a resident of the constituency, had urged the court to give effect to the Cape Coast High Court judgment and prevent a further breach of the constitution by restraining the MP. The Apex Court agreed with him, but lawyers for the MP filed another application urging the court to set aside the injunction. The court has dismissed this application. Court correspondent Joseph Akablay has been speaking with Deputy Attorney General on this.
That on the issue of the decision restraining the first defendant from holding himself out as an MP, the first defendant through his lawyers had failed to clearly surmount the conditions for the grant of it. So we are very happy with it.
Back in April, the expectation was that this will be determined expeditiously, a substantive matter. Unfortunately, we've been told of an incident that means that we are coming back in July. The people are still without a member of parliament. You are the minister. Probably be of concern to you.
It is quite unfortunate that, as you heard in open court, one of the panel members has lost the father, for which we send out our deepest condolences. Of course, you will agree with me that some of these events are unpredictable. And as you clearly also heard the Honorable Chief Justice state that should the situation call for a substitution of the panel member, he's ready to do. This demonstrates the CJ's willingness to ensure that their earlier orders to have this case expedited actually comes to. Clearly, we are satisfied with the court's ruling. As you're aware, the applicant filed a review application imploring the court to review its decision on 13th April 2022, whereby the court granted an interlocutory injunction restraining the first defendant from holding himself out. In answer, always we our pursuant to Rule 54 of the Supreme Court rules, in seeking a review of the court's decision, one has to found his argument to application as one of the two grounds for invoking the review jurisdiction of the court. In fact, it is one thing stating that the court needs to review his application, it's another proving that
Child Rights International is calling on government to review the school feeding program in order to achieve improved outcomes. The call follows reports that pupils are being fed poor quality food under the school feeding program in some parts of the country. In the Upper East region, Albert Sori reports, although caterers are willing to provide better alternatives, they are drowning in debt. He visited 2 schools at Serigu, a deprived community in the Bolgatanga municipality, and now reports.
So today we are here at the Apasanaba Primary and KG here in Serigu in the Bolgatanga municipality of the Upper East region. This is one of the schools where the pupils are benefiting from the Ghana school feeding program. We understand that nearly 500 children are being fed under the program in this school. And so today we are here to find out how the program is going. Today is Wednesday, but this structure you are seeing behind me is the kitchen where the food is normally cooked for the children. We are told by school authorities that since the 18th of May, the caterers have been coming to cook the meals for the children, but today for unknown reasons they are not here. They were here yesterday. This kitchen is currently empty. There's a fireplace, 2 fireplaces actually, but there's no fire at all. The caterer is not here today. We'll also be speaking with the peoples who are on break at the moment and buying food from the common market to try and find out from them how they feel about the school feeding program, whether they like the food and whether they are even getting the food regularly or not.
Yes, we like it, but the way they are serving the food is not always plenty. Sometimes they cook, but sometimes they did not cook. But I don't know why today they have not cooked. Today they have not cooked, so I'm hungry.
I like it, but the food is not quality. When they will serve us small foods and we will not satisfy us. They have been cooking every day for us, but I don't know what happened today and they don't cook. But I feel angry.
The soup is not plenty. You eat the soup and leave only the banku. That's what I'm saying, we are not satisfied.
We understand that 2 different caterers actually take turns to cook for the children in this school. One of them is here and will be talking to us about why they are not here to cook for the children today.
I'm the caterer in this school and we are 2 in number. We do run shift. This person will come and do 2-3 weeks and the other 2 will come and cook. So when we started this term, my colleague is taking place now. So today she couldn't come. I called and she told me she couldn't get all the items to come and cook because of the financial problem.
Executive Director of the Child Rights International, Brighter Pierce, says the situation is unacceptable, adding his outfit has commenced its own investigations and will press on government to do the needful after the investigations. He says a review of the entire program is necessary. He spoke earlier on News Desk.
Situation, and it must be to all Ghanaians. We should be worried about the condition of our children in the schools. The reason being that children are not only there to learn, but everything in the environment must also speak to their social development and growth. And we see a situation where that should be the expectation of every country. So if you are experiencing some of these things, then it raises a whole lot of issues as to what our commitment is in respect to even formulating the policy. This has to do with nutritional content of food. So as we speak, there are staff going around collecting data on some of these issues. And we want to make a case for government to really look at the school feeding program and then do what is expected. There are a few issues that we have detected. The first has to do with the amount of money that they give them. The second one has to do with the supervision. And the third one has to do with the condition under which the caterers prepare the food. So we are looking at all this. At the appropriate time, we'll make a case for it. but where we engage with government and we are still not getting results. I think that matters of children is a matter of law. So whatever means that we have to engage to ensure that children get what is expected, we will do so.
Public Relations Officer of the School Feeding Program Secretariat, Alpha Siva, says the Secretariat has begun the payment of 2021 arrears and should be done by close of the week.
As I speak to you, we have been able to pay 9 regions so far. We have paid Ahafu region, Western North, Bunu, Oti. We have also paid Volta, and then we have also paid Savannah, West, and then Northeast. And now we are paying Ashanti and Bunu East. So we are making progress. And I'm sure by the close of this week, we should be able, now we are level to 7 regions to pay. This payment is for third term 2021 arrears. That is, which stands for 68 days. We are not saying that there have been a difficulty. We are working on it. That's what we have told them. We are working on it. These things are not something that you can just do it just like that. You have to take so many things into consideration, because we have to also be mindful that whenever we announce any upward adjustment, we have to implement it. And let's also remember that the budget has already been read, and so we are working with the budget for now. For this year's budget, we have about 900 million Ghana cedis to implement the school feeding program. That's 881 or thereabout million Ghana cedis to implement the school feeding program. And so, despite all this, we have welcomed them. We have taken on board their, demands, and we are also pursuing the issue. I'm sure very soon we'll get a very satisfactory feedback that will be favorable to all of us.
In the Upper West region, however, correspondent Rafiq Salam, who visited some schools in the Wa municipality, reports that although some of the caterers are back, they are not strictly following what is on the menu.
It's been 5 weeks since public primary schools in the country reopened for the second term. Primary schools in the Upper West region were therefore not left out. The pupils and their teachers came to the school in droves, ready and poised for the resumption of teaching and learning at their various schools. One key thing which could make them fulfill that wish was out of a conspicuously missing. The caterers contracted by the government under the school feeding program were nowhere to be found. They had just boycotted cooking services for what they described as inadequate feeding grant. They vowed not to cook until the government increased the current feeding grant from 0.97 Ghana cedis to 3 Ghana cedis per child. The pupils who are supposed to benefit from the program suffer and wallow in hunger. Private food vendors move in, and in some of the schools made the most of the situation. After several weeks of tango with the government, where they were promised of addressing their concerns, some of the caterers have resumed cooking services at the schools. One of such schools is one municipal model primary school.
At the beginning of the term, when we visited the school, it was deserted and almost looked like a ghost town because the caterers and cooks were nowhere to be found. Today, we are back at the school to see how things are panning out. Now let me enter the kitchen and see whether we can meet some of the caterers around. Madam, thank you very much for your time and good morning.
You are welcome. Good morning.
Are you a caterer here?
Yes.
Okay, I'm seeing that today, a lot of cooking going on here.
Yes.
So what exactly are you doing?
We are cooking with rice and stew.
Rice and stew?
Rice and stew.
Why rice and stew today?
Because we didn't have money to buy beans, that's why.
Okay.
The government didn't pay us. We didn't have money.
Okay, but at the beginning of the term, you didn't start.
Yes.
Why were you not here?
Because we didn't have money.
But now today you have money?
No, we didn't have. The government asked us that we should come and prepare the food before he pays us. That's why.
There are over 1,000 pupils here in this 106-year-old primary school, and as a result, the pupils have been divided among 4 caterers. Per the menu of the school feeding program, they were supposed to cook gari and beans for the pupils today, but has to change the menu because they have not been able to lay hands on them.
We are asked by our caterers not to come to work until they were paid. Few days ago, they heard others were cooking, so we were frightened to lose our jobs and we quickly came to resume cooking. What we have in the house is what we bring to cook. Because we are not paid. We are struggling now. We give them what is available. The people should bear with us.
They are appealing to the government to not only pay the monies owed them, but increase the feeding grant paid per child.
Why is it too small? 97 pesos? Is it not good?
No, it's too small. The food is costly. That's why we are begging the government to pay us the 3 cedis.
The pupils are, however, happy with the resumption of services at the school. Mohammed Bakir to Sumbayire is a primary 6 pupil.
Tell me the excitement in you when the food is brought.
We were happy. We were just saying hooray that our cooks are here again. We are always hungry. So when we are hungry, we cannot concentrate in the class again. We are always thinking about the food in the house.
Another school visited was at Ndamba Primary School. At the time of our visit, the cooks have finished cooking for the over 301 pupils and were carrying the food to one of the classrooms converted into a kitchen. Neither the cooks nor the head teachers spoke to us for fear of victimization.
The good news from our visit to a dozen of schools in the one municipality revealed that all the caterers have reviewed services to the schools. Their challenge, however, is that they are in a limbo as to what to cook for the pupils. For now, it is what they have or what they can afford is what they cook for the pupils. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Back here in Accra in the studio, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Now, commuters on the Tema Motorway would have to still endure long hours of traffic for the next few weeks as engineers from the Ghana Highway Authority have started maintenance works on a bridge on the highway. The rehabilitation of this bridge has become necessary for failing structural integrity tests, exposing commuters to danger. The situation has caused a heavy buildup of traffic on the Tema Motorway. My colleague Samuel Kojo Brace is here live for us and joins us with updates. Kojo, what more can you tell us from that stretch?
Well, so Aisha, I have moved from the Alakpla River where the bridge is to the Ajen Kojo Junction just to monitor how the traffic is. I am told this traffic goes as far as the TT Brothers from where I am. And from where I am to the Alakla River, that's where the bridge is being repaired. It can take a car up to 45 minutes to get there. Now, I've spoken to some people who tell me they've already spent 25 minutes in this traffic to the point where I'm standing. That's the Ajen Kojo under bridge junction. So that's, if you add it, someone would spend at the least or in the least 1 hour to get to that junction before it moves beyond the bridge where of course then you can have a smooth ride. So that's how the traffic is. People tell me they've spent so many minutes. If you add hours in this traffic, it's not easy. It's quite a thick traffic. If you have seen the drone shot we have sent, it tells you, or it portrays how thick this traffic is, and it's because of that construction which is going on at the Alakla River there. If you look at the construction that is going on, it will take some more days. So commuters on this side of the city would have to bear it for the rest of the days that the works will go on. It is a very, very even they tell me it is an improved situation, because yesterday people spent 5 hours in traffic, but today you are lucky to spend an hour and a little more, in traffic for you to get to where you can then move speedily to wherever you want to go. So that's the situation we are in. Let me try and see if I can engage some people to share their thought with us here on the news. But Aisha, if you can see, as far as where my eye can see, you can testify to how thick this traffic is. Let me try and see if we can engage some people. Say good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How are you doing?
We are fine.
How many minutes have you spent in traffic?
Oh, is it minutes or we are talking of hours? Really? Yes, because we are from overpass. Okay. Yeah, and the thing is moving slowly. Okay. Yes, so we are on it gradually. Wow. So, gradually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it because of work, some works they're doing in front of you?
Because of the bridge. Yeah, because of the bridge that they said they are repairing. So the thing moves slowly.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So Aisha, that's a commuter here. Let's try and see if we can engage more. Sir,
I'm doing fine. Are you? Very terrible, honestly. Very terrible.
How many minutes have you spent in traffic?
Oh, almost an hour from the motorway down here.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So he has spent almost an hour in traffic. You know, it's quite a terrible situation. But even in its terrible state, we are being told it's an improved version of yesterday's traffic. So Aisha, it's quite a huge traffic here. Now, as the traffic is building up, see, a car has just broken down. So it's compounding the situation that commuters on this road would have to bear with. It's quite an interesting one. Your car broke down, sir. What happened?
Because of the traffic.
Because of traffic. Your car just broke down. It's not because of traffic. Okay, Aisha. So his car just broke down here, adding on to the traffic that people have to bear with. So we are trying to move as far as we can so our viewers can understand the situation on the motorway today. It is very, very terrible. You know, so just stay with us. Let's try and for you to understand how the traffic is today. I mean, like I told you earlier, I'm told this traffic is going as far as the TT Brothers, and that means that it's a very long traffic and a very, very thick one. Let me try and see if I can get more people to engage with, and we can leave you with. Chief, how are you? Okay, he's already been in traffic for some time. Sir, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
What's your experience of the traffic?
It's too hectic.
How many minutes have you spent in it?
Almost 40 minutes now.
Wow.
Yeah. 40
Where are you coming from?
We're coming from Tema. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So that's it. He says he spent 40 minutes in this traffic. My goodness. So if you are coming from Tema towards Accra, I am told some people are using the Ashaiman road to swerve this traffic. Some other people are using the beach road that's through Teshi, you know, to swerve this traffic. So if you are now moving from Tema to Accra, maybe you can explore those avenues. If you think it's quite hectic for you, then you have to go through this means. So the only thing I've learned in this is that you can try and go through the Ashaiman Township for you to swerve this highway, or go through the Nungwa Township and use the beach road. That's the only ways you can avoid this traffic here. Aside that, you'd have to endure this traffic, Aisha.
Grace is the one at that stretch and bringing us updates on how the traffic situation looks like. We'll bring you more of this in our subsequent bulletins. Now, the National Bank Service says it is struggling to meet the nation's blood demand as its blood bank nears empty. The service says, unlike before, fewer people are voluntarily donating blood, a situation that has brought emergency healthcare to its knees. With a national demand of about 450 units of blood, the service says it is sometimes unable to even supply 10 units of that blood. As the world marks Blood Donor Day, the service says blood donors are gradually becoming scarce, whereas those that do come only when it's an emergency. Yes, PRO of the Ghana Blood Service, Stephen Adaiban.
The blood bank, I must say, is broke. We're supposed to have enough, blood in stock to be able to supply the hospitals and clinics around us, especially in Accra and its environs. But as I speak with you currently, the situation is very bad, simply because voluntary donation nowadays is nothing, to write home about. People are not coming out, in their numbers to donate blood on voluntary basis. What people prefer now doing is that they wait until there's an emergency before they are called upon to come and donate blood. And we have said that that system of donation is not safe, because at the time when there's a need for you to donate blood, at that critical moment, it could be that you may not qualify. You may not be well at the time, or you may be far away from the patient. And when that happens, the patient may lose their life. And so we don't want that to happen. And so we want to call upon people to come out in their numbers and then do the voluntary blood donation, making sure that the blood is always waiting for the patient and not the patient waiting for the blood.
In terms of volumes, how much are we doing? How much do we have? To say that we are broke, what is our current standing in terms of quantity that we have?
The point is that we're supposed to supply about 450 units of blood to hospitals and clinics around us every day. And the point, or the fact that we are not able to do so, means that there is a challenge. And so we want to say that, look, there is the need for constant blood donation. Now, people come, or hospitals come with a request of, let's say, about 10 units of blood. We are unable to supply that. Why? Because the blood is not available. But for the National Blood Service, our core mandate is that we make sure that people understand the need for voluntary blood donation so that they will constantly donate blood. This we are doing with the help of our media partners, and we believe that, yes, it's about time, that people still understand that, yes, there's a need for blood always. Otherwise, Ghana will suffer.
I'll come to ask about the challenges that you've been faced with over the past few years. But some people have been saying certain things about in terms of donating blood. People have said that they have to pay when they donate blood to you, and on some reasons they've given us, the blood has to be screened. Something I want to believe that we've also heard. Do you want to clarify for that for us?
Let me clear this fact, that nowhere or no one is asked to pay for blood donation. When you are supposed to donate blood, you are not supposed to pay any money. But instead, what is done is that a doctor first has to request that you need blood transfusion. And when that is done, the doctor will give you that prescription form together with your blood sample. Then you take the blood sample to the blood bank where the blood will be screened, what we call the cross-matching. So when that is done, you are required to pay something for that. Because it's like you going to the lab or somewhere, for your own blood check and all that. We need to make sure that the blood that you are going to be given, it matches with your blood group, and that you have to pay. Then after that, when the blood is ready for you to be transfused, you also pay for a processing fee. That doesn't mean that you are buying the blood. You pay for the processing fee, making sure that it's a little fee that we take to make sure that we sustain, the blood service, and also to make sure that the blood that we are giving you, it's wholesome. That's all.
We're still live on Joy News today. Let's take a break. When we return, there's the very latest coming from the world of business.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Investors are being assured of an inclusive business environment which prioritizes their interests and concerns. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center believes the country's record as the leading FDI recipient in the sub-region is reassuring enough that Ghana is the best destination for investments. There's more in this report.
The urgency for government to tackle Ghana's brewing economic crisis topped opening statement at the Financial Economic Seminar.
I think it's just a matter of we understanding our system, modifying models and formulas, policies that are tailor-made to suit our system.
But even as investors get a chokehold by rising inflation and high production costs, the GIPC says help is on the way.
The desire is to tilt the balance so that despite inevitable and exogenous shocks and policy shifts, the private sector should thrive and survive despite government action.
Talking solutions, Dr. Stephen Adai proposed an alignment of government micro and macro policies to ensure inclusive growth.
I don't think that the Bank of Ghana should continue to raise interest rate, because if it does, it will hurt the real economy far more than achieving inflation, lower inflation or inflation targeting as the IMF is demanding of structurally constrained economies.
The seminar was heavily attended by captains of industry, investors and the consuming public. It was themed identifying and redefining the economic fundamentals of developing countries, anomalies and challenges, the case of Ghana.
Now, the Ministry of Public Enterprises has identified transmission service charge by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission as one of the challenges facing the Ghana Grid Company, GridCo. According to the Sector Minister, Joseph Kudjo, transmission service charge is having a huge impact on GridCo's operations and revenue. The Minister made this known during a familiarization tour to GridCo in Tema. Correspondent Kwame Anka brings us the rest of the story.
The visit was to help Public Enterprises Minister Joseph Kudjo and his entourage understand the operations of Ghana Grid Company Limited, GridCo, which is the backbone of power transmission in the country. Joseph Kudjo noted that GridCo, like other players in the power sector, operate with tariffs and charges fixed by their regulator, Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC. According to him, GridCo's operations is heavily impacted by transmission service charge, TSC, by PURC. He says the company could stay profitable if its service charge is competitive.
One challenge I have always known GridCo to have is the level of transmission service charge, the TSC. It's something that is fixed by a regulator, PURC in this case. Of course, it will analyze the situation and fix a TSC. By end of the day, the level of the transmission service charge is also paid by we, the consumers. Are you getting that? So the question is, high transmission service charge, we know, would enable GridCo maintain a stable transmission grid to serve all of us. But are we willing to pay higher electricity tariff so that the role GridCo plays, it will get a transmission service charge that reflect its cost?
Meanwhile, a performance ranking table of public enterprises using different parameters will be released on 30th June. Here is Joseph Kudjo again.
Are you generating enough revenue? Are you managing costs? And are you reporting profits? And are you paying dividend to government? If you have been set up for profit, this is the yardstick way that should engage our conversation. If you've not been set up for profit, then the question is that, are you delivering quality services as desired by the public? Are people getting the service fast enough? Are your service charges affordable to the public? Are you operating sustainably? Sustainably means that you are generating enough, pay yourself, and also pay surplus to support government budget. These are financial considerations that you would want to find out from a public enterprise.
GridCo assured the delegation that the company will continue to play its important role in the power sector.
We'll have more business news on the marketplace at the top of the hour. The news continues after this break.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News Today. Now, movie director Pascal Aka held a private viewing for his award-winning film Gold Coast Lounge, a film which picked up the Best Soundtrack for Movie or TV Series award. The production got a lot of praises from some industry players. Here is a report filed by my colleague Ibrahim Bembako.
Filmmaker Pascal Aka organized a private viewing for his award-winning film Gold Coast Lounge at the multi-choice office here in Accra over the weekend. Some notable faces in the movie industry were at the private viewing, and they really were impressed with what they saw from Pascal Aka on his award-winning film The Gold Coast Lounge.
But I know that it was more like a metaphor of what the Gold Coast was and what Ghana is now, and so you know, it has this political satire in there as well. So if you step back, you realize that the whole idea of us being independent and producing what we eat, growing what we eat, you know, is basically the undertone, you know, of this movie.
I think there was pressure because, I mean, look at all these actors, look at these legendary actors, and Pascal Aka himself. There was pressure, and I had to deliver. And I think it was my very first major movie, so I was scared.
It's actually a fantastic movie, completely different from anything that I've seen produced in Ghana. Not just produced in Ghana, but produced by Ghana.
Filmmaker Pascal Aka, who wrote and directed the film, gave us the import of the message he was trying to carry across and also why the film was in that setting.
Okay, the Gold Coast Lounge, the movie is a strong message. The message of the film is strongly about Ghanaian independence and Ghanaian pride. And it's a post-colonial film. So as we stand here today, whether I'm wearing a suit or I'm wearing a kaftan, I'm still Ghanaian, you know, and we are a result of both our colonial past and our traditional past, and we have to embrace both of them. And we have to be self-sufficient, we have to be completely independent. We need to be united. It's very important. All these themes are in this film, absolutely in this film. Character metaphorically represent a different part of Ghanaian society, politics. Watch the film June 18th. Silverbell Cinemas. Get your tickets now.
There's more showbiz news on myjoyonline.com here on the channel. That'll be all for Joy News today. Aisha? That'll be it for News Today. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. You get more of the news updates of all the developing stories. Bye from both of us, Becky and I.